What's going on, bro?
How you doing? I'm just
Look at us rocking the red and white. It's like we planned it or something.
hey, it's like we talk to each other.
That's it, dude. It's like we're friends or something, you know?
Something.
Uh-huh.
I see a lot of familiar faces in here already. Deli, Will, what's going on, guys?
I
Oh,
had Birdie
Owen's
for a
back.
second.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just kind of before you hopped on here with me, just kind of going through this quick. And guys, a lot of news happened yesterday, so if you want to talk about any of that, let us know. A little news today, but also off-season stuff in general. We're here for it.
Dude,
Um,
last 48 hours have been absolutely crazy. I introduced my live basically saying the same thing. Like, Myles Garrett gets traded from the Browns to the Rams. This is just a quick recap for everybody who's missed a little something something over the last 48 hours. Top headlines: Myles Garrett, stud, is traded from the Browns to the Rams. Like they need the help, right? For Jared Verse, what the hell? Including a first round pick. AJ Brown inevitably found his way to the Patriots. I'm very interested to see how Diana Rossini feels about all this. Um, Drake London gets extended today. Bag alert. And the Giants have a whole new wide receiver room, including Odell Beckham Jr. And it's not 2016, believe it or not, guys. So, JJ, where do you want to get started?
Not summer. It's not summer 16. It's summer 26, and we are here for it. Yeah, Deli's already saying the OBJ news himself.
Insane.
Yeah, we're. I want to know. I just know Browns fans are going through it right now. Says Kyle. They probably are, but look, they didn't get a bad return, like Sammy was saying, talking about that trade. They got Myles Garrett. They gave up Myles Garrett for Jared Verse and a couple 2027, 2028, and 2029 cascading first, second, third round picks respectively. Not a terrible haul, but it's definitely not what you would expect for the Myles Garrett, considering that we all thought the price ticket was going to be 3 first rounders. But if you count Jared Verse as a first rounder, which 2 years ago he was, and that narrows it down a bit. So I think that helps. But he's no Myles Garrett yet. Could he be? Maybe, but that's a price the Browns are willing to pay.
I have Birdie in my chat saying that he likes his trade for the Browns better in his opinion. I think, and I said this to JJ, I feel like a lot of the most recent trades have actually been pretty fair. I mean, I'm being biased here. Like maybe I think JJ threw out like the Sauce trade and the Quinnen trade. Maybe the Jets got a little bit more than what they may have gotten, like
I
if they
thought.
ask at a different time. But point being, like the Browns and Rams are obviously at two different points in their franchise right now, and the Rams are in win now mode with Matthew Stafford only getting older, and the Browns are building. So JJ is right. Like Jared Verse is very, very good as a player. Myles Garrett is the top of his class, but he's aging and he wants a ring. The Browns are looking to build on what they already have, and they have money to spend on Jared Verse when it's time for a contract. Like it's kind of a win-win for both, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I was doing some digging. Obviously the Rams are going to be paying him a significant amount of money over the course of the whole season, but the cap hit itself is really, really manageable for the Rams. I think it's like 8 million this year and then 16 million next year, where the
Right.
Browns take a significant dead cap hit, but again, they're countering it with the cheaper contract they're getting in Jared Verse.
100%.
So it kind of does work out for everybody. And like you said, Sam, like it's two different points in a team's life cycle, and the Browns. Internally it seems externally it seems like the Browns internally don't have a lot of faith in their quarterback room because 2 first round picks in the 2027 draft class seems to be that they're gearing up to make a move.
I don't know, JJ. I mean, what makes you think that? I'm just curious.
Well, look, obviously Deshaun Watson has not played good football since he left Houston, and he has all that pass behind him. Shador say I know this is rhetorical, but I will explain a little bit. I know
Talk about the
Shador
talent out of him. Apparently, is word on the street.
Gabriel, yeah, we might win the job. Who the fuck knows? Um, Gabriel is nothing to look twice at this point in his career, and Shador has a lot of hype, but hasn't really shown a lot of results on the field. So I think this could pay off fruitfully for the Browns if they manage to get a quarterback out of it. If they manage to get a quarterback out of it, the Browns hands down win this trade, no matter what.
Can you imagine? That's not true. What if the Rams win the Super Bowl?
Look, the goal is to win a Super Bowl. That is absolutely true.
Well, that's my question. Now we're playing hypothetical. the Browns get Arch Manning or whoever their quarterback of choice is, and the Rams win the Super Bowl, who won the trade.
I don't know. I'm not saying they just draft a quarterback. If they can finally get a franchise quarterback and add some stability, like a good
You're saying
quarterback,
this is a win for them.
if the Browns are able to get a stable, good franchise quarterback out of this trade, not just draft one because they'll probably draft one anyways, um, then they win this trade. Like if the Browns somehow get their Josh Allen in this draft class, then they win this trade. If they use the capital from the Myles Garrett trade to get that quarterback.
I hope the Browns use both firsts that they'll have to trade up and get Trinidad Chambliss, and I hope he sucks. And I hope he's absolutely awful.
What if they just trade up to get Jeremiah Smith? What if they're like, let's get another receiver?
Might as well. Why not? Load him up. Who's throwing
But
some?
that is the thing.
Right?
Like the Browns are getting ready to dump Deshaun, like to get out of the handcuffs that has been this Deshaun Watson contract, because this is the last year he's on the books, and they just took two young receivers to hopefully build up their room a bit. They have two first round picks in the draft class that everyone is saying this is Mr. Zero content. Hey man, look, that's destiny, baby. Just follow us and join us from now on. He said, never seen either of you and your three scrolls apart. How? That's destiny, baby.
Destiny, baby.
But they just took two young receivers and they're gearing up to make a move a quarterback looks like and rebuild this team, because Andrew Berry has put together really good teams in his Browns tenure, and I think he might do it again.
I think I agree, like that they're loading up to go get a quarterback. I can't see them getting Jeremiah Smith, and you'd like to think that the Rams are going to be one of the better 8 teams in the league. So that second first that they're going to have is going to be very late in the first round. Depending on how bad the Browns are this year, obviously they'll have to package them both up to try and beat out other competition to get whatever the best quarterback is, unless they don't have to move and they can have a quarterback that they want fall to them. But to answer your original question, I don't think that this is a Jeremiah Smith move at all.
No, that was just.
I know you're just throwing it out there just for fun. Why not? Fuck it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? There's so many months until next year's draft anyways. But this is 100% a quarterback move. They need one bad.
I think so too. And before we do a proper reintroduction for ourselves here, because we're getting some people here, I wanted to get off that I said to you yesterday when we talked about this, when you called me when the news broke, that like I understand the move, and we both agreed Myles Garrett is undeniably leagues above any other pass rusher in the league right now, but I don't think Jared Verse was the reason they weren't winning a Super Bowl. So I don't think their edge rusher position was the thing keeping them from winning a Super Bowl. And I get the upgrade. I do. I understand. I said to you yesterday, do anything to get Myles Garrett on the team. But I just think if you're going to give up draft capital, do it at a spot where it will make will actually, how do I want to say this? You'll get the most possible upgrade at that position.
I mean, I guess, but what, the Rams have had 3 first-round picks in like 12 years, bro, and they have a Super Bowl, so it's like, do you really need a first-round pick if you're always picking in the back 6 anyways?
No, and look, obviously, like less need will do less need things, so I get it, and I can't front it because they already have a ring. They've been in the playoffs multiple times. They've lost a couple NFC championships, so they're knocking on the doorstep of other Super Bowls. But I just don't like. I get it. Again, I get it, but it's just like if you wanted to, I don't know. I understand that. I just thought like if you're gonna give up capital, we just saw a receiver get traded. Like why not just go get a receiver, because your receivers right now are a little unreliable.
This is the most win now move I think that we've seen in like a true win like this year. 2026 Rams win now move. Would you rather, with that, keeping that in mind, would you rather have Myles Garrett or would you rather have Jared Verse and a 2027 first? If you're trying to win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, let me throw out a different hypothetical to you. If we're talking about win now moves and like true like Super Bowl window, doing everything you can to go get it. and the impact a rookie's going to have is hypothetically bottled. But would you rather have
Wait, hold on. I have to tell you, the IA, he says SUNY Cortland rep up.
rep up, go Dragons, baby, forever and always? Would you rather? Would you rather? And look, Stafford just got an extension, so this isn't a 1 year move. This is a 1 to 2 year, maybe even 3 year push for a Super Bowl, and as much success as you can get in that short window. But so I think this makes the hypothetical even more appealing. Would you rather have that 2027 first, Jared Verse, a cheap player, and Ruben Bain instead of Ty Simpson that you could have had at number 13 if you just picked him?
Yeah, it does sound nicer.
That was nice, right?
Yeah, but I don't fault the Rams for doing what they did with Ty Simpson. If they really think that he's the guy, then you had to take him where he was.
Yeah, and look, I understand it because it's probably the only time they'll be up that high in the draft to get a quarterback.
Right.
Given that,
what a problem that must be, man.
What a problem, right? First world problems, elite team problems. But like, if this quarterback class is as loaded as we say it is, like they could get one at the later end of the first round, hypothetically. But obviously, they didn't want to take that chance.
Or they could have traded Jared Verse over the draft after they won a Super Bowl.
Could have, but again, I mean, I'm not confused by the move. It doesn't make all the sense in the world to me. But again, you do what you can to get Myles Garrett on his fucking football team.
I think it makes a ton of sense, and I'll throw this one out there too. I don't know if you saw it on Pat McAfee too, but I would love to see Aaron Donald come back and play football. Just for
doesn't that just feel like I understand it's him, and he's top 3 defensive players ever to play the game of football, but like, doesn't that just feel like an injury waiting to happen?
No, I think if anybody's ready and waiting to play football again, it's Aaron Donald.
Football shape is different, man.
Dude, it's Aaron freaking Donald, and he's only like 35.
35.
Like, he's not.
Myles Garrett is younger than people think as well. He's turning 31 during the season.
Myles Garrett's 31.
He will be during the season.
Dude, I did not know he's the same. He's younger than Trey Hendrickson, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's
I think he's younger than Max Crosby, or he's just a year older.
That's crazy. To put that in perspective is mind blowing.
I was thinking about this earlier, and I was actually really excited to ask you this question. Do you think the Max Crosby trade falling through botched the price for Myles Garrett?
100%. Because as soon as you mentioned Max Crosby, I started thinking about it myself. Like, the Ravens had 2 firsts on the table for him. Like, this trade could have been, but I guess not necessarily, because they're getting a player in return, and Jared Verse is a first-round player, and he has been really good in the NFL so far. So I guess that kind of makes up for it. But if you're just looking at draft capital, like, take Jared Verse out of it, yeah.
Look, Max Crosby is fucking awesome, but still, Myles Garrett is a league above him. I think if that trade goes through, because it's like, okay, well, the Ravens were ready to give up 2 firsts, so you could still say like that should be the price for a Max Crosby, but he didn't just fail a physical. The Ravens backed out. They had buyer's remorse. That was the whole bit on it, right? And so,
who's to say?
Right? We're all to say, and I think if that trade goes through, you are getting nothing less than 2 firsts, and probably still a player for Max Crosby or for Myles Garrett.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, JJ is a medical professional, so if anybody's allowed to talk on the medical examination performance analysis of Max Crosby, it's that guy.
I would use the term professional very loosely.
JJ wipes butts. Anyways,
I'm a nurse.
Harm Dog said, or Donald can come back at the start of the playoffs like Eric Weddle did in 2021. I'd like to see that too. That's all I need.
That's probably the more likely situation.
That would be so sick.
I don't think he just pops into training camp this summer. I think they have to make a run.
No, and that's all I need to see, man. Just have him like a Rob Gronkowski. Have him come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let him play in the playoffs. Let him play in the big ones. Brady said all this stopped Caleb Williams. Why is Garrett Wilson up there? Because I freaking love Garrett Wilson. That's
Someone
why.
also asked, why do you have G5 on the screen?
I just love G5, man. I mean, how could you not? You know, best wide receiver in New York, best wide receiver in the AFC East. I mean,
All
how
right.
could you not?
All right. I can't push back on that too much.
Not right now, you can't. At
Not
least.
right now.
Not right
Not right
now.
now. When Malik can run down the first baseline, I can push back on that a little more.
We just don't know if he can run yet. We know he can run playing softball, but that's about it. You know, barely.
Parbaked said, "Aren't you just hoping to draft a player like Myles Garrett?" And then I think he got tired of us talking and said, "Why don't you just answer the question instead?"
This guy Grippin' Rippin' Reels is the person who asked why Garrett Wilson is up there, and he's like, "All this trade talk, you had me freaked out." No, I promise you, I will be miserable when that happens. That is not. But if it sounds like you're a Jets fan, give us a follow. Hopefully that day never comes.
But Parbaked is right. You are hoping to draft a player like Myles Garrett. So that's the ultimate. But the thing is, he's been on the Browns so long at this point. Like, it's like, yes, you're hoping to draft a player like Myles Garrett, but he hasn't really helped him alone. His presence alone has not helped your team get over the hump that you wanted to. Now, you could say, hey, look, a guy like Myles Garrett is, when your roster is in a really good spot, he is the guy that is going to be a force multiplier on your team when you don't. But the Browns went and hindered themselves with a terrible quarterback decision. So that's going to affect that. But still, he's been on the team almost a decade, and they haven't really had much to show for it. So I think it's okay if you give up on a guy like Myles Garrett now to get future capital.
The way that I conceptualize this in my head is the fact that a few months removed from him breaking the single season sack record on the Browns, which is a terrible team, he now goes to a Super Bowl contender with a real coaching staff and a real franchise. Like,
it's exciting. No, that
I'm so excited.
He probably has the most help around him now that he's ever had in his career. I don't know if to me, I don't know if he's going to see a big jump in quality of defensive coordinator, because Jim Schwartz was the truth. And they kicked him out of Cleveland, so he wouldn't be playing under him anymore. But I don't think because he's going from Jim Schwartz to Chris Shula, that's going to have a huge effect on him. I think it's just great DC. It's the help around him that's going to make a huge difference. And I just want to shout out some people that, Sammy, are always in here. So I want to give them a shout. Don, Deli, Will, Brett, Owen, thank you guys for joining us back. We appreciate it. Don said, I don't know, that cap space problem is going to be real in LA. He's right. Stafford just got a big extension. Puka's due at some point if he stays out of trouble. You got Byron. I think Byron Young did get extended. They just paid Trent McDuffie. They just signed Jalen Watson as a huge corner. They gave Durant. Is it Durant, the safety, or am I thinking of someone else? A big safety. It's either no. Kobe Bryant's on the Bears. He was from the Seahawks.
You're right. I'm drunk. I'm just kidding.
But they have some pieces to pay, so he's absolutely right about that.
Cam Curl, Harm Dog said.
Cam Curl. It's going to be interesting to see how they balance all that stuff.
Yeah. With that being said, we'll introduce ourselves now. My name is Sammy. This is my co-host, JJ. We are the Meadowlands Men. I'm a huge Jets fan. JJ's a huge Giants fan. We don't do this as often as we should, but boy, do we love it when we do, especially on days like today. It's the off season. You're right. It's the off season. We're going to do it a lot more as we get going with the regular season. So if you're here and you're enjoying us, this is all we ask. Like, follow, share. That's it. More likes gets more football fans organically on their feeds. Follows, obviously, because we love staying connected with the people who enjoy our content. We just want to talk to as many football fans as possible. We'll talk to footballs too, as long as they don't talk back to us, then that might be an issue for us. And then shares. If you know football fans that would also enjoy content like this, that just want to talk shop with the boys, share it with them. But with that being said, we'll open it up, man. What do you guys want to talk about?
And Michael here saying we're deep in the off season. That's very, very true.
Deep in the off season, man.
So look, we have this has been very sporadic since the draft ended. The off season, we're still finding our flow, so stick with us. But we appreciate you all very much for it. But June 2nd, that's probably going to be a recurring show for us going forward, because a lot of news the past 2 days.
Dude, this post June 1st stuff, it just kind of blew up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I think the first time it really made a huge impact, like in the off-season cycle for the league, was probably the Russell Wilson stuff, where post June 1 he wasn't due a whole bunch of money, so the Broncos were able to truly get rid of him.
I have a fun question for you from this guy, Jordan, who gave us a follow, by the way. Thank you, Jordan. Make sure you follow JJ as well, guys. I really appreciate the follows, but JJ and I both share the Meadowlands Men account that he's using right now. So I'll gladly accept follows. You'll see some more real estate content on my end, but do follow JJ on the Meadowlands Men account.
Yeah, you want the football stuff,
content.
you gotta come from either of us, you gotta come to this account.
Why you gotta say it like that? As if people don't like real estate.
I'm just saying, people are here for the football.
Club Nick for Rookie of the Year. I don't know who that guy is, but please follow. That's sick. Jordan has a great question for you. Where do you guys got the Chiefs with the additions of Kenneth Walker and the defensive draft?
Damn it, you got to change your background, man. People are really freaking out about Garrett Wilson.
This is good. No, have them come in. They you know what I mean? This is good for the engagement. Breaking news: Garrett Wilson traded. No, dude, I'm telling you, there will not. I don't know if I go live that day. You know what? I'm even gonna put it out there. I don't even want that day to come. I pray to God that it won't. I will be miserable. I don't deserve him. Jets fans don't deserve him. We do, because we should have nice things too, but we don't. Yeah, we don't. He's so nice. He needs. You know what I fear is going to happen, JJ? This is my worst fear, and then we'll get off the Garrett Wilson topic.
Michael said that's why I joined.
Frankly, because I don't want to talk about it anymore. I am petrified that this last window of hope to make Garrett Wilson's young career worth it doesn't go the way that it should, and somehow, some way, the Jets make the playoffs, maybe even win a Super Bowl after he's no longer on the team. And then I have to watch clips of Garrett Wilson saying that's all I wanted to do was bring it to New York. And like, that's my worst fear.
You honestly, as a guy who's going through it right now, you don't want the I never wanted to leave New York conversation from Garrett Wilson like we're getting with Odell right now. You don't want.
I literally saw a TikTok before hopping on live with you of that clip. I put it in my mind. I couldn't handle it. I would not be.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
I know who I am as a. We went over this. I know my limits as a man, as a human. I can't do it. I won't be able to. That'll be the last day I watch football.
This will answer some questions that people have been asking in the chat too. So this is good. The Odell stuff is very nostalgic. It's kind of sad that we had to have this happen to have this feeling again with Odell. I never wanted him to go. I didn't care about his antics. I didn't think he had that many antics to begin with. But to always see these reoccurring clips of him saying, I never wanted to leave New York. I love the Giants. I love Eli Manning. He loved playing with Eli Manning. That was sweet to always see. And now he's back. And he gets to be this veteran presence. Who knows how much he's going to add on the field? Probably not much. But us Giants fans are very excited because it's what we grew up on. I mean, I think I was in, God, what was I in? 8th grade, 9th grade. I remember standing outside MetLife Stadium after the game ended to wait to just say what's up to Odell across the barriers when the players were walking out. And it was awesome. He signed. I got something signed by him that day. I still have it. I don't know where it is at this time. I'm going to have to bury it out. But it's a really cool thing just to have him back, even if he doesn't have anything on the field. So for anyone asking, that's why the Odell stuff is great. That's why we're excited as Giants fans. But we're realistic. You know, no one's expecting 2014, 2015 Odell.
Bro, is Odell in his prime? I think you're underplaying this a lot to emotionally protect yourself, and I understand why you're doing it, but he's going to be good, dude. He's going to be like a real contributor. I'm not saying he's going to be prime OBJ, but you understand, like, he's going to be a real wide receiver for your team, right? Like, this isn't a locker room.
No, Sammy, no.
JJ, guys, I'm telling you right now, JJ is so scared of being hurt, and I get it. You know, OBJ already left. He's had injuries. This is in JJ's mind. He doesn't want to get hurt again. OBJ is going to be good. I'm not saying he's going to be prime OBJ. He's going to be a real contributor for the Giants.
He's not. And if he is, Sammy, the thing is, if he still has some juice left and he's playing at a high level, and he contributes, that's fine. But if he is what we last saw in Miami, what we last saw in Baltimore, then he needs to have a limited role. And if we somehow get 400, 500 yards out of him, a couple touchdowns, that's great.
No,
But
Baltimore has not done anything good with a wide receiver since Jacoby Jones. Have you seen who's throwing the ball in Miami?
who's the coach that was in Baltimore, and who's our coach now?
I get it, but I also don't care much, to be honest with you. Who's the quarterback? Who's throwing? John Harbaugh's not throwing the balls.
No, that's true. That's true.
Also, I got another "What Happened to Garrett Wilson" comment. This is phenomenal.
Buddy, this is great. This is great bait. You casted a great line without even knowing it was going to be a great line.
I think people are seeing the Adam Schefter bombshell because you're covering and then I have Garrett. It's like a perfect mix.
That's great.
But yeah, no, dude, OBJ is going to be good, man. Jackson Dart might be the best quarterback to throw him footballs. No, well, I mean, he did play with Lamar, so
he played with Lamar. But just to push back on some comments here, John is saying the nostalgia is washed too. He had one good catch, which then Deli accurately states one good catch ? I was watching a man take slants 70 yards to the crib casually.
He was such a good one. Anybody who downplays how good of a wide receiver he is just doesn't know how good of a wide receiver he is.
Genuinely, if he stayed in New York, and I say this with my whole chest, genuinely, if he stayed in New York, he probably would be top 15 receiver of all time.
Why did you have to stay in New York for that? I'm curious. What's your reasoning behind that?
I personally think when you start moving spots, things maybe go a little haywire. And I think Eli Manning, him and Eli had a connection that nobody could explain. And they just knew each other, knew how to play with each other. And even when you made that transition from Eli to Daniel Jones had the ability to get a guy a ball. And I think Odell would have made the most out of it. And the thing is, DJ had struggles early in his career because he had no one to throw to. His best receiver was Darius Slayton, who in the same draft class in the 5th round for like 2 years.
Yeah, but here's what I push back. I mean, I don't know, man.
Him and DJ never played together. The same offseason that DJ was drafted, Odell was traded.
Honestly, that's probably best for Odell Beckham.
Saquon and Odell only played together for 1 season.
Now that's heartbreaking. You guys need to trade for Saquon right now.
Imagine just tossing Odell into this offensive skill group for Daniel Jones. It would have been Odell, Sterling Shepard before all his injuries, Saquon, and Evan Ingram for what Evan Ingram was. All right, in New York at least. But like, just give him that credit. That he would have been in a much better. Now he did go to Cleveland with Jarvis, but like they didn't have much else. And I wouldn't say Baker has a bad arm, but I would say at least mobility in the run game and probably Cannon. DJ's a little better. And he had a propensity to give the guy a chance on some reckless balls. I think Odell would have made the most of it.
Harm Dog made a good point. Instead of OBJ said in the Giants, he'd never be wearing a ring right now. Would never be a Super Bowl champ.
It's true. That's true. I just think I think genuinely Odell would have been top 15 receiver if he stayed in New York throughout his entirety of his career.
Yeah. Jordan said Garrett Wilson to the Chiefs. What are we thinking about the Chiefs ranking, fellas? Garrett Wilson would be the best thing to happen to the Chiefs wide receiver room. I couldn't even tell you in the last how many years. But that's never going to happen. Where do you think we have the Chiefs at this year, JJ?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see how Rashid does when he gets out of jail. The Chiefs
Honestly,
are such...
That is the biggest thing, right? Because like Travis Kelce is getting older. I love what the Chiefs did defensively. It sucks getting rid of Trent McDuffie, but they did end up getting they replaced him with somebody, right? Who am I thinking?
Kelce?
No. Oh, I'm sorry. Not Travis Kelce. My bad. Travis Kelce is only getting older. I was putting two comments together at the same time. Trent McDuffie. They replaced him with who?
Yeah, they drafted Delane.
Andrew Delane. That's right. Yeah. So I love what they did defensively. Who are they throwing the ball to? Who's
Well, that's
Pat?
the
I know
thing.
Pat Mahomes is
Look,
Pat
bro,
Mahomes.
I
But like,
said during the draft process. My look. Let's pull this up. Let's have a discussion about the Chiefs. If we're gonna have a discussion about the Chiefs, which I don't think anybody really loves to do, at least listen to. I think people are tired of the
Jordan
Chiefs.
apparently wants to listen to it, so we have a.
Let's do it. And Owen, if Owen's still around, he'll listen to it. He's a Chiefs fan. Jared, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate that.
Noah, whoever this Noah guy is, just added Jordan and called him a LARP. I like that. That's funny.
I've been seeing that. What is LARP? What is LARP at this point?
I think I don't know if this is what he means, but I'm pretty sure LARP is an acronym for live action role play. You know those weirdos that run around. and
Yes,
pretend
but I
they're on
think
horses
people are
and shit?
using it differently now.
Oh, I don't know. But Noah's a Jets fan apparently, so we like Noah. Congrats.
We do
Let's
like
go.
Noah.
Huge.
Chiefs win total. Because I honestly, dude, I don't know. I think Deli, right? Birdie Rice is good. Rice, I like Rice when he's on the field, but can he stay on the field? John said LARP is like a fair weather friend or a fair weather fan.
Wait, so I just want to get something. I just want to wrap my head so I understand fully what you mean by that. So you like Rice when he's playing football. Are you saying you don't like Rice behind the wheel of a vehicle?
He's yeah, absolutely.
Would
Absolutely.
Would you let Rasheed Rice
No.
date your daughter?
No, what? Don't have one. Wouldn't let him.
Your
man.
hypothetical daughter. You know, I'm just curious. I want to, like I said, I want to get a full picture of.
No.
Okay.
Because Rice would have to drive her to dates, endangering her life on a day-to-day basis.
Oh my God, dude!
All right.
That kid's. All right, yeah, we'll stop.
BetMGM has the Chiefs over/under for wins at 10.5. I think they're under that.
I don't think they're under that. They're gonna make the playoffs, dude. They're gonna make the playoffs.
You
They're
could win.
gonna
You could get in
figure
the
it
playoffs
out.
at 10 wins. That's under the 10.5 line.
They're not gonna win 10 games, bro. They're gonna win 12.
No, but look, I just think this is one of the most difficult. I think this is one of the most difficult off seasons for the Chiefs in a while. Mahomes is coming off an injury. Kelsey's only another year older, and he played okay last season. Rasheed Rice is in jail trying to rehab a knee injury. Kenneth Walker is great, but we know that there's only so much a running back can truly add to an offense without the situation around him. Their offensive line. Are you raising your hand to pipe in?
I am. I have a great. I know what is gonna get the Chiefs to 12 wins.
Go right ahead.
Henry Ruggs.
What?
Henry Ruggs goes on parole at the end of August, I believe.
Okay.
If he's allowed parole and he can sign with an NFL team, he's signing with the Chiefs. Speed Demons.
I can't say it. I can't say it.
Oh my God! How electric would that be, though?
I was gonna say speed kills. It's not. It's morbid. It's quite morbid.
That was really funny. That was good.
Brother says hasn't played football in how many years? Deli says, "Ayo, yeah, Deli. I know it's a little morbid." John says, "I heard Ruggs and Rice are sellies." Brett said, "150 question mark."
Oh God.
Brett, I think the Bears fan wants to talk about Jacobs right now. He said, "Can we talk about Jacobs real quick?"
Who's Jacobs? Josh Jacobs?
Jacobs,
Nah. Why?
because his domestic violence case.
Yeah, it's true. It's a good point.
Did you hear about that?
I did honestly. It didn't register right away because I didn't look into it fully. But I'm very excited for you to tell me the story.
There was a 911 call, and there's allegations of domestic abuse, and I think it's like 5 different charges of something along that lines. Deli said Josh Jacobs, aka Ray Rice. He participated in OTAs.
Well, it is just allegations. You're innocent until proven guilty. So.
I understand. I just it's dicey. It's a dicey situation in Green Bay, which is not a team that we often see in that situation.
Some would say Green Bay is going to have to duck and weave their way out of this.
Horn Dog said, "Damn, I found the other half of this live."
Welcome back. Welcome back. We were now talking about that. Actually, we should probably get off this topic. Anyways, AJ Brown is a Patriot.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
Yeah, we'll talk a little AJ.
We knew it was going to happen.
Knew it was going to happen.
We all knew it was going to be. Oh, look at you, already loaded up. I love it.
Imagine I blocked this one and everyone thinks Garrett got traded to the Eagles because they just gave up AJ
Put your head
Brown.
a little bit. Put your head a little bit to perfect.
There we go.
It would be to the Eagles too. That would suck because then we'd both be pissed off.
Oh my God. I'd be furious.
That would be brutal. Yeah, best wide receiver in New York to best wide receiver in NFC East. Terrible. But
CD would still keep that.
That guy's got stones for hands. Anyway,
CD's better than G5.
I honestly, dude, I'm trying not to be biased here, but it's just so hard for me to really rank Garrett Wilson because he quite literally has had like 3 head coaches and he's had 17 quarterbacks.
I get it, but you can only give the guy so much of a pass.
He's put up 1,000 yards like every season.
I think he's great, but CD.
You're like, you can only give him too much.
I hate the Cowboys. And I gotta say CD's
We don't have to do this. This is not the point. AJ Brown is now a Patriot. I didn't even see what the trade package was for, so you could fill us in on that. But one of those again, like we knew it was gonna happen. It was post June 1 because of the whole dead cap situation. But he obviously wanted out of the Eagles. And that's it.
Real quick before I get into it, John said CD is office hot. What a line. Office hot.
I don't get it.
You get that? Like, it's like, you know how, like, people are, like, you would say someone's hot. Like,
yes, yeah, like instead of him being, like, he's a Poughkeepsie 10, you know? Right? You get what I'm saying?
He's a Poughkeepsie 10.
He's a Hoboken 8, you know what I mean? For us Jerseys out there. Jerseyans.
Oh, my God.
He's a Valhalla 9. You know
He's a Valhalla 9. There you go.
Okay, I get it.
A Westchester 11.
I don't think CD is office hot at all.
No, I think he's great. But anyways, to expand on what you were saying, the compensation for AJ Brown from the Patriots to the Eagles is a 2027 fifth rounder and a 2028 first rounder.
So do you think that, because I don't know about you, but this is a little bit less than I thought they were going to get. I knew that they would get a first-round pick from. I didn't think it would be a 2028, so that's pretty cool on the Patriots not giving up their 2027 first-round pick if they have one. I don't see why they wouldn't, right? But my question is, do you think that Howie was looking for 2 firsts to get rid of him sooner because of the dead cap situation, and now after the cap situation has resolved itself in a way, that's why he was willing to take a lesser deal, quote unquote? Or do you think it was just like, all right, like we tried getting the highest value for him, and now it's just like, all right, we want to part ways amicably, and we'll take what we can get?
Well, I'm interested to know if the heat behind the Rams wanting to get AJ Brown was real, and then once the trade for Myles Garrett happened, if they were just like, well, we have no other suitors. And the thing is, this might remind me of like when very, very recently when the Giants just traded away Dexter Lawrence, where they took the best deal on the table. And you kind of do that when a guy is frustrated and clearly wants to leave, and it's a situation that won't resolve itself otherwise. So I think the Patriots kind of understood that over all the months that we predict this deal to happen, and said, you know what, we know you guys are in a pickle. We're going to kind of cheapen our offer, and you're either going to take it or leave it. And they took it.
It's still a good haul, honestly. Like,
it's a great haul. I mean, look, I don't love Howie Roseman having 2 first-round picks. Let me tell you. So I think it's a great haul.
Yeah. And honestly, for an older receiver, you would have thought that I think some people would have been surprised that they would have gotten a first at all. I think a lot of people were predicting maybe a day 2 pick, multiple day like early day threes. But good for the Patriots and Eagles finally getting done.
Yeah, and I think too. I'm not surprised by the haul. I think it's appropriate for what you would get for AJ Brown right now, especially coming off last season specifically, and given all the, for lack of a better term, headache that he's kind of caused in Philadelphia over the past couple seasons.
What, you
Because,
reading books, pal? What kind of headaches is he? Jalen Hurts is his quarterback, pal. I'd be pissed off too.
but fair, but I wouldn't. I don't know how many people would be totally shocked if Terry McLaurin was to be traded for a first round pick in either for a 2028 first round pick, just like AJ Brown was. And I think personally, I think AJ Brown is way better than Terry McLaurin. So I'm not surprised by that at all.
I would
For
be
them
very
getting a
shocked
first round
if-
pick.
I would be very shocked if Terry McLaurin was traded for a first round pick.
People are very high on Terry, man.
I'll tell you, as somebody who's owned him in fantasy for the last couple of years, I wouldn't be so high on him.
I understand it. I understand. I've had him in fantasy too, but I'm just saying, like, people will die on the hill that Terry is the best receiver in the NFC East. I'm telling you.
Well, people will certainly be dead on that hill. Early Super Bowl predictions. Got a question from Jordan. That's kind of a fun one. Rams, easy. They're in there for me.
Yeah, Rams. Probably Rams. I would say Rams and Broncos.
Ooh. Los Caballeros, yeah?
They were a Bo Nix ankle injury away from making the Super Bowl.
So we're saying they were a Jared Stidham, not in a snowstorm, away from a Super Bowl.
Very true. Also very true.
You know?
And they all they really lost was JFM.
Freaking Patriots, man. They just, it's so easy for them all the time. It's so annoying.
Birdie says drafted Terry in the first round and averaged 4 points every week for me. Thanks, bro. Pretty much. That's the Terry McLaurin experience.
Oh, God, it was terrible.
Also, Deli here has given us a lot of scoops on AJ Brown. Said AJ Brown cheated on his wife and Hurts' wife told her to leave him and he got mad at Hurts. That's where the beef started.
No, you're lying.
He told Hurts to tell his wife to mind her business and Hurts didn't. Apparently, they was beefing. Look it up, real reports.
I mean, with all due respect, AJ Brown, don't cheat on your wife if that's true. But also, Jalen Hurts' wife, like, mind your business is kind of correct. You know what I mean? Parties, I can see both sides to it. You know,
if Jalen Hurts' wife is friends with AJ Brown's wife, no, she can get involved. I don't think that's too crazy.
if whatever happens between you and Aaron, it's between you and I, and it's not my business. You know what I mean?
enough.
As
Fair
your
enough.
friend, I'd like to say, hey, what's going on? But
Yeah.
if you snap back at me and say it's not your business, you couldn't be more correct. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess so. I mean,
Yeah.
look, if it's serious, people got to get involved. But like, if it's, I don't want to say just cheating, but like, I guess if like no one's physically harmed, I guess you could butt out.
yeah, butt out. You know?
We're not making ourselves look too good on this live, pal. The Rasheed Rice talk.
Moral of the story to
This
clean that up:
talk.
don't cheat on your wife. One.
Yeah, don't do that to begin with.
Just don't do anything. Just don't be a bad person. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Adultery, domestic abuse, Grand Theft Auto. I mean, what else could we cover today?
What else can we cut? I mentioned Puka being in rehab.
That's right.
we-
Anti-Semitism. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that's four things.
God, yeah. Oh man, football's so great. You don't get this in soccer.
You don't
You know
get
what I
this
mean?
anywhere else.
No.
Deli said Chiefs wide receivers so buns. Pat Mahomes makes them look good. Getting back to the Chiefs conversation, Sammy, I really don't know if they win 10.5 games,
I
11
really
games.
do. You know what? Why not? Let's pull up their schedule. The old schedule. That'll do it, right?
Yeah, they do have the best line projection in the AFC West, tied with the Chargers at 10.5.
Okay, their schedule goes as follows: home against Denver.
Loss,
I agree. 0-1. Home against Indiana.
win,
Dub. 1-1. At Miami. Win.
win,
At Vegas. Win. Home against.
Loss.
Are you out of your mind?
No.
Are you actually serious?
Yeah.
You're being annoying right now. Can you be real?
I'm being real. Think
You're not.
about it. Think about the offseason they had.
Okay, let me think about it. Okay, I thought about it. The
right.
Raiders.
All right. All right, fine. Hey, what if Justin
Okay.
Fields is starting all these games?
Say it again.
What if Justin Fields is all these games?
Shit. You're so right. I totally forgot. When is Mahomes?
What if Mahomes is on pup?
Okay, we do. All right, that is true. I will concede to that. Let me look at his injury update. Let's see. He was on OTAs apparently. He's on the field for OTAs.
Yeah, I'm sure Malik did some OTA thing too.
That's a big ass brace, man. He does look good though. I mean, he looks like Pat Mahomes. Doesn't look like he's limping or anything.
Deli
Fuck it,
said
I'm
they
saying
won't.
he's
I mean,
ready.
look, speculation is speculation, but like,
I'm saying he's ready. I'm saying he's
even
ready.
if he is ready, I think the Raiders have a legitimate shot to split the series with the Chiefs.
Absolutely not. I think the Chiefs lose to Indianapolis before they lose to the Raiders.
Aiden O'Connell was a breath away, was a bad snap away from beating the Chiefs in Arrowhead a couple years ago.
Yeah, but that was first of all, they were bad, bro. Or I'm sorry, they weren't bad a couple years ago, but they were bad last year, and they mopped the floor with Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas was the worst team in football.
Yeah, bro. I don't think that they got much. They got Tyler Linderbaum, bro.
Tyler Linderbaum, Kwity Paye, Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker. They added, I forget what corner they added. They got Jalen Naylor to help out Brock Bowers in the receiving game. They still have Trey Tucker. They still have Michael Mayer. They still have Ashton Genty. They added a couple of line pieces as well.
Yeah.
They have a franchise quarterback now that you were dreaming to have.
Who's playing backup to Kirk Cousins?
For now, he's going to start week 1.
He's not starting by week 4.
He's going to start week 1.
No, he's not. Why would you get Kirk Cousins? To
For
be a
insurance?
quality backup? No.
Insurance.
Wrong. Why? They're not a
Mentorship.
playoff team.
Mentorship and insurance.
No, they're losing.
I'm saying I have them at 2-2 in the first 4 weeks.
Fine, whatever. We'll go 2-2. Why not? For fun. Chargers.
Tito, Tampa Realtor, said week 2 starter.
Absolutely not. If he's week 2 starter, you might as well start in week 1. Did Kirk Cousins get hurt?
I agree. I think he's going to start week 1.
No, I don't think so. This is a new coaching staff, and they went out and got Kirk Cousins for a reason, and it wasn't to be a backup. This is going to be a full Kirk Cousins year, maybe transition by the time they lock up.
They're legitimately paying him $10 million. They have no stake in Kirk Cousins.
It doesn't matter. That's not the point, dude. Like they want to get Mendoza up to speed. If they thought that he could start day one,
He's had the playbook since February.
Why wouldn't you go and get Tyrod Taylor? Why wouldn't you go and get
Kirk Cousins is better than Tyrod
Marcus
Taylor.
Mariota?
Kirk Cousins is better than Marcus Mariota.
But you're not like I don't disagree with that, but like I don't think you're going to get the best backup quarterback. Like if you just want to get a quality backup in case your rookie quarterback gets hurt, then fine. But are they
not the same person?
Again, I don't think that's the point, though.
Are they not the same person?
They are the same person, and
so then why don't you go get Fernando? Like why would you not get the best mentor for Fernando that you could?
Are you saying that Tyrod can't mentor somebody?
I mean, I think if you sign Tyrod Taylor, you throw him out week 1 so that he gets injured, and then Fernando can come in and be like the best quarterback ever.
Right. So why would you get Kirk Cousins?
But that's just black magic. Unironically,
he is black magic. Actually, I'm gonna miss Tyrod. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think Kirk Cousins starts the year. I don't think.
Regardless, I still have them at 2-2.
Whatever, fine, 2-2. I'll concede. Okay. Chargers or home against Chargers.
Loss.
Crack. Smoking crack.
Whatever.
Back-to-back losses. Raiders and Chargers. I agree they might lose to the Chargers, but whatever. 2-3.
We have them at the same record, respectively.
At Seattle. They lose that game.
Okay, so I have them at 2-4. Or two and yeah,
No, we're
2 and
doing
4.
this together. We are a partnership. We do this together. 2 and 3. Seattle, 2 and 4.
Okay, you know what? Fine. If we're doing this as a partnership, I'll give you the Raiders in week 4. But you have to give me the Chargers in week
Thank
5.
God you've come to your senses.
You have to give me the Chargers in week 5.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we're good.
Seattle
2
in
and
week
3.
6. They're 3 and 3.
3 and 3. Thank God. All right, we've found ground. At Seattle, 3 and 4.
No, wait. Seattle was week 6.
No, Seattle's week 7.
Who's week 6?
Chargers.
Who's week 5?
They have a bye.
Early bye.
Sorry, forgot to tell you that. Yeah,
Very
good for
early
Mahomes
bye.
to get back. All right, so we're at 3 and 4.
3 and
3?
4. Yeah, 3 and
3 and
3.
3.
3 and 3.
We're at 3 and 3. They're at Denver.
Loss.
I agree. 3 and 4 versus the Jets.
4 and 4.
Whatever. All right, fine. Whatever. 4 and 4 at Atlanta.
You think they can't beat the Raiders, but you think they'll beat the Raiders, but they can't beat you guys?
I don't see why you're so confused with that. I really don't understand it at all, to be honest with you.
Who do they have in week 9? Who do they have in week 9?
Jets. And they're at Atlanta.
Okay. Win.
Agreed. Home against Arizona.
What is that? That's 5 and 4.
Yeah.
Against Arizona, 6 and 4.
At Buffalo in the new stadium, mind you.
6 and 5.
Yep. At the Rams.
6 and 6.
At Cincinnati.
6 and 7.
Okay. Home against New England.
7 and 7.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Home against San Francisco. 8 and 7. There's no way San Francisco's healthy by week 16. Let's be honest. At least 2 to 3
All right.
players.
I'll buy that.
That
8 and
electromagnetic
7.
field.
8 and 7.
Yeah, not good.
I just want you to know they have to win these last 2 games to get to they're already not making it. They're already under 10.5.
Chargers Raiders.
Okay, but even if you give them the 2 dubs, they're under the 10.5 line.
You're right. I do think that they lose to the Jets, so they're definitely. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sure. Look, you could find a game or 2 in there that they could win and pull out. I
But
completely
also,
agree with
too,
you.
they're probably going to end up losing a game that they shouldn't as well. That's what happens in football. But the first game that I thought they would win, that you said opposite, was Cincinnati. That was my gut says that they win that game.
That's fair. I could get that. I'm just saying,
again, this is why Vegas is good at their job. This is a good line. 10.5. I now see why you said what you
it's
said.
plus money for the over. I want you to know that. Like, you're taking the harder bet.
Everything, nothing that's worth it comes easy. I was trying to figure it out. I started it before.
If we ever get big, that's gonna be our tagline.
Nothing. Yeah, I like that.
Jared said, "Let's see. The real topic. How about these Giants add-ons? Nothing crazy. Just wide receiver depth. I'm not
Nothing crazy. Just Odell Beckham Jr.
It's a big name, and that's what this name was gonna do. Like,
what if he creates the famous catch?
That's great. And I'm super excited. I am super excited to watch Odell in a Giants uniform again. No matter what happens to him, what he does, I'm excited to watch it and see how it goes. I'm just not expecting much. My expectations are tempered, as they should be.
JJ seems like that person that had a relationship in high school and they've rekindled. You know what I mean? Like, it was serious at one point.
We'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it gets.
Nothing too deep. We'll go to dinner here, dinner there. She stays at my place. I stay at her place. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, going to get coffee.
I'm not gonna put any labels on it. No labels.
No, it's casual. You know what I mean?
Casual. He just made some of my best early teenage memories for football. That's all he did. Nothing crazy.
On the inside, he's just he doesn't want to get hurt again. I get it.
I'm just
I understand.
distancing myself.
Hit. Gotcha. I knew it.
No, look, you know me, man. I'm nothing but a realistic fan, as much as I wish I was delusional sometimes. But it is what it is. It's like Demario Davis coming back. You don't expect too much from Demario, but if he, is a stalwart, is like a solid veteran leader on your defense, it's you're happy with it.
He's the best linebacker in football. Oh God! So here's a real question for you, though. Does he wear 13 or 3?
Man, he's gonna have to wrestle Jalen Hyatt for 13.
Oh, it's gonna be a wrestle. I hope.
Oh well, Abdul. Right now, Abdul's wearing 3.
Oh shit, that's right. No, he had 3 in OTAs. They were just a picture of him.
You can have 15 threes in OTAs. It's OTAs.
Yeah, but like I don't know. All right,
there's like 100 guys out there.
I figured this is the freaking NFL, man. Okay, I had no idea that they're so loosey goosey with the numbers.
Watch the preseason. You'll see 250s, 555s, 677s, and 2 threes.
Oh man.
Jared said rookie quarterbacks time, man, no need to rush them out there on the field. Remember when we thought Daniel Jones was just like Eli Manning, referring to me saying Kirk Cousins and Fernando are the same person. Daniel Jones came out like a gangbuster. I'll have you know. Statement win in Tampa Bay his rookie year. Clayton's asking what we think about the Commanders. Tito, for some reason, mentioned Tommy Bohannon, Jets legend. Sugar says the Pats don't have depth. It's really bad. Tito's asking about Juju and Braxton. Come on, Tito. There's no excitement for Juju and Braxton. Braxton is the next great middling white returner that will get injured at some point in the season and then be replaced by somebody else, a rookie wide receiver maybe. And Juju is Malachi insurance, a big body receiver, maybe a slot player, big body, but maybe Isaiah Likely insurance, given that the big slot roles will go to Isaiah Likely.
I just find it so funny that all of a sudden, like the Giants in one day were like, we're gonna sign 3 TikTokers. You know what I mean? Let's just go out and sign as many wide receivers that post TikToks. Let's go find them all.
And add to our room that already posts TikToks.
I'll tell you a little bit about Braxton Berrios as somebody who knows him quite well. I thought that he would be the next best Jet until he dropped that pass in Minnesota that lost the Jets the game. And this was all during the Mike White era, too. I mean, you would have thought I'd have Mike White and Braxton Berrios pictures up on my wall.
Mike White Lightning.
Oh, God.
You were really rooting for the next great White Hopes.
What? Yeah, no, I loved Mike White, bro. Like, he was the guy.
Sam is asking, what role will OBJ play on the Giants? Probably. Look, if you're asking on the field,
I would guess.
Well, that's so funny. That's what Birdie said, and then he was like, and then Sam did not take kindly to the sarcasm.
Can't be here if you're not going to take sarcasm.
Odell can play slot. Look, Odell's a lot older. He didn't play last season. So
he hasn't played in. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, only last season.
I think his game's a bit of a mystery right now. But given what he's done in his career, he can obviously play slot. He can obviously play perimeter. It's just how well are you going? What level of player are you going to get from him? But again, I think his prime role is inside the locker room as a culture and mentor guy.
He has not had a double-digit touchdown season since 2016.
Yeah. Even when he's on the Rams, he was. Well, he was traded mid-season from the Browns, which that wasn't going great for him. But even when he was on the Rams, he was hot. But it was only for a short period of time, and then in the Super Bowl happened and he got injured.
Dude, actually, crazy stat for you, which is kind of fun. So he gets traded from the Browns to the Rams in 2021, and he scored 5 touchdowns that season. How many touchdowns did he score with the Rams? How many touchdowns did he score with the Browns?
I think the Browns, he had 3.
Huh? None. He scored 0 touchdowns with the Browns in 11 and I'm sorry, 6 games. He scored 5 and 8 with the Rams.
Well, yeah, because his Browns tenure was really weird. He got hurt. Didn't he get hurt in like his first year with the Browns? And then
No, his first year with the Browns, he played all 16 games. His second year, he played 7, so that's when he got hurt.
got it. And he was traded in his third season.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Um,
I'm excited, man. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good. Scored 3 touchdowns with Baltimore in 14 games. Scored 5 and 8 with the Rams. I like it, dude. I'm excited, and I'm not even a Giants fan.
look, I'm stoked. H2O said 2016, and I was like, oh, that was only 5 years ago. It's been 10. Exactly.
Bro, it's pretty wild. I to put it in perspective for you. Actually, this is probably perfect for JJ, but next year would be my 10th anniversary of graduating high school, which is insane. JJ, I think he's at 10 years this year, right?
Yeah,
Or was that last year?
No, I'm at 10.
You're old, bro.
I'm washed. I'm good.
Bro. You're unk. Some would say. Some in this chat may say you're unk.
Some most probably would, given the platform we're on. Sam said, I'm going to Sunday Night Football versus the Cowboys week 1, and I can't wait for the introduction of him. I am considering being in attendance, but me and Sammy are also considering a watch along for pretty much that whole day, and then especially that night game.
I mean, dude, look, it's Odell Beckham Jr.'s return. I would not hold it against you. I can hold down a live. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be in the stadium.
Look, if you want some boots on the ground content, I can do that as well.
I'm just putting it out there for you, man. Don't let me hold you back from.
We'll see. The last time I was in attendance for a week 1 Sunday Night Football Giants versus Cowboys game, they got blown out 40-0. So I'm a little traumatized.
In the middle of a hurricane.
Middle of a hurricane.
Yeah, not good.
Middle of a nor'easter. Tito said, yeah. Tito said, Tommy Bohannon is one of my best friends. I think you mentioned your buddy was a realtor and also a Jets fan. That correct? Correct, you are, Tito. Muhammad, thanks for the follow. Muhammad said, class of 16, let's go. Absolutely. H2O said, yeah, it's my 12th anniversary from high school. LOL. Oh, so he's even more unk. Sam said, maybe don't come. Yeah, Sam, I'm thinking of it. I might stay as far. I might fly across the nation. I watch from the West Coast.
Maybe Jackson Dart snaps his Achilles 4 snaps in.
Shut up! How dare you? How don't you wish that evil upon me, Ricky Bobby?
I wouldn't. I love Jackson Dart. I would never wish that evil. I'm just saying it's a possibility. I've seen it happen, but you probably have to wait another 20 years for that to happen to Jackson Dart.
How dare you? H2O said OBJ will get 2,000 yards this season. You heard it first. Also, Sammy, Tito said, let's connect, Sammy. I'll be in New York this weekend for our condo hotel project.
Oh, very nice. Tito, shoot me a DM, man.
Absolutely.
Talking ball, making connections, huh?
Look at that. Look who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Man.
What a community we continue to build, Sam.
I love it. Speaking of that, before we hop off, because we probably are going to be wrapping up shortly, if you guys have been here for this long and you're listening to us bozos yap about football, might mean that you like football as well. Shoot us a follow. Keep liking up the live. We appreciate the support. As the season ramps up, JJ and I have a couple of awesome ideas for you guys. So it's going to get even more fun to be involved with the Meadowlands men. But we appreciate you guys being here tonight. I guess like pretty much whatever else we want to wrap up with, you know.
So let's wrap up with some. Yeah, look again, guys. If you're enjoying us, give us a follow. We appreciate it. The season, we had a great draft season, and I think we're gonna have an even better in season. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Experimenting with some more watch-alongs. You guys seem to really like that, like the clips from that. And me and Sammy, you know, we'll hang out anytime. You don't got to twist our arms to hang out, guys. H2O, thanks for the follow. So let's get to the question of let's do a little Commanders talk. Someone asked about what we think about them in this upcoming season, and we'll close out with a little Drake London coverage with his new little extension. And then Sammy, people continue to ask what's going on with the Jets. Great background today.
Great background. What's going on with the Jets is that they're preparing to win the 2028 Super Bowl.
There you go.
A couple years away, but we're getting there. You know what I mean? Now, Commanders, my main thought, like the first thing that popped up in my head when somebody asked about the Commanders and my thoughts is just like, what's going to happen with Jaden Daniels? Like, is he going to be healthy? He's just so frail, bro. Like, he's so good when he's on the field, but now I'm officially concerned. Like, is he going to be able to stay healthy for the remainder of his career, or is this going to be another RG3 situation?
Yeah, I just don't see how you can be a Commanders fan and not have flashbacks about RG3 and just count your lucky stars and hope that that's not the case.
No. And for what it's worth, too, they're different players. RG3 obviously didn't know when like enough was enough in a way when it came to the physical contact he took on his body, and after a while it was just too much. Jaden Daniels is just like kind of tiny, dude, and we're seeing
Yeah.
the negative effects of that.
Yeah, I would also say I think RG3 came from a different type of offense where his running was more encouraged. JD just kind of makes plays happen, and I think RG3 was a better runner. But man, Jaden Daniels is very electric, moving around the pocket. But I don't think he is trying to put himself in those situations like RG3 did. So I think he has a better chance to avoid future injury. Um, but look, he caught lightning in a bottle his rookie year, and I don't want to say he can't keep that up, but like that production is hard to keep up. It was one of the best rookie quarterback seasons we've ever seen, and now he's coming off a season-long injury, and you hope that he's not hindered by anything going forward, or that he can get that magic again with a little bit of a middling wide receiver room with an aging Terry McLaurin, and I know they drafted Antonio Williams. But outside of that, and Jalen Lane, I guess, but there's not much really to be excited about, I feel, with that skill group outside of Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, the Commanders are going to be a weird one because I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't really know what to feel. I think they're going to be a middle of the road team. Um, they don't wow me really anywhere on their roster, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but they are a little bit still on the older side. So, although that can help with like veteran presence, I don't know if that's really going to translate to wins the same way that it really didn't last year. So, and I don't remember any offseason moves that really wowed me.
Yeah, look, they added a ton to I like it seemed like in the span of like a week they added like three different guys to their defensive line where Odafe Owe was really the only splash signing. You know, Charles Omenihu, yeah, he's probably got some juice left, but he's bounced around a couple places. But you could very much argue that's an overpay for Odafe Owe. Now, you know, you put all their pieces together, it's a bit of an exciting defense, and we'll see what Dan Quinn can make out of it. I would say he did more with less in Dallas when he was the DC there, but he's not just the DC anymore. He has a lot of overhead to keep track of now that he's the head coach. And that defense was very disappointing last season.
Yeah.
Now they didn't have a lot of horses to really get the juice going, and you're right, Sam. They are an old roster still. You know, they got rid of a couple guys, but they're still an old roster. And are they going to trust Bill Merritt? Are they going to lean on Rachaad White, who could barely be the one back in Tampa? Is that O-line going to hold up? You know, I know they have Josh Connerly, and they're hoping he takes a step forward, but they got rid of Biotic, who, you know, is limited as a player, but still, you know, you ruin some continuity across your offensive line, and you bring in a whole new system offensively. Like I think, who's their OC again? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I forget.
I think it's a very new guy. Like, you know, I think like places like that, the Ravens, David Blau, so old Lions backup quarterback. So I guess you could say he comes from the Ben Johnson system, but will that translate?
No, it won't. Drake London signed a huge extension with the Falcons. Good for him. 4 years, what, like 141 million, I think, right? 100 mil guaranteed with escalations, like incentives. I think we can get up to 150. So, huge bag.
Yeah, huge bag. What's Garrett making?
35 a year. So
that's about what Drake's making.
Yeah. It's about looks better in green.
But dude, I think. I mean, I guess you could argue which one is more of a steal, but they're from the same draft class, right?
They're from the same draft class. I think that they're very similar players. I at least in my time on social media, I feel like Garrett Wilson and Drake London have been compared a lot because of their situations and the style of play that they both have. So I think it's fair. It's fair value. You know, Garrett was obviously was offered the extension first, so it makes sense as to why Drake's getting a little bit more. But it's very fair. I think it's a very fair comp for him, and good on the Falcons too for locking up somebody that they really had to.
I love Drake London. I
Yeah,
really do.
gotta get that guy a quarterback.
Got to get him a quarterback. I think he can be one of the best receivers in the league, and this kind of contract can really look like a steal. I think he's kind of been putting the pieces together over the past couple of years. Yeah, just like Garrett.
Same. It's the same conversation.
I think they play a little different. I think maybe this is just me like putting Drake in a box, but he's definitely
A
a
little
bigger
bigger. Yeah, he's
and
bigger.
more of a like a contested jump ball or maybe just box out guy, red zone threat. But that's not to say Garrett can't do any of the things Drake does. I think Drake is a true perimeter guy, and Garrett can probably play a little more around the field. So, but this isn't a comparison of two players right now. This is just kind of more of a congratulatory and good job by the Falcons. Happy for Drake getting his bag. I think it's a great contract, really.
Yeah. No, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like when you look at it in comparison to like their production, I think Drake and Garrett have had very similar careers so far. They've both been in not the best situations to start their career, but they're both in with franchises who have some promise because there's pieces in place, and it's just about getting the right ones for them to succeed. So hopefully, both for both of them,
Yeah,
especially on my end, being a little bit biased, like God, we got to find that guy a quarterback.
got to find a
But
quarterback. I think it's right to do this now too. You kind of want to space out when you pay guys. You
yeah,
took the tag on Pitts. The Bijan is probably coming soon. He's earned it. He deserves it. Um,
he's gonna get paid so
and
much,
Drake is
but
only getting 16 this year because he's playing on his. It's an extension, so he is playing on
right.
his 5th-year option.
Him and or I'm sorry, Bijan and Gibbs seeing those contracts together is going to be stupid. I'm so excited for that day in the
Especially
NFL.
after Achan got his bag.
Yeah,
Stone Philly fan says, "Happy Pride Month, baddies." Thanks, dog. Appreciate it.
appreciate it. Actually, I believe Jets and Giants were two of like 8 teams who didn't put up a pride flag as their logo. Um,
Well, Pride. Did you hear what Pride was canceled for White Boy Summer, Sam?
no way, really? I had no idea. I usually celebrate Pride Month, but I guess I'll be able to celebrate both now.
White Boy Summer.
Congratulations to
Well,
me.
half of you can celebrate White Boy Summer.
Half it. Half of me. All right, so I think
Um,
that about wraps it up, man. I'm ready to go to sleep.
yeah, I mean, real quick, just to fire these off, Clayton, our
Yeah.
resident Commanders fan, said, "Okay, but why does nobody say that it's stuff about Joe Burrow, the injury stuff?" H2O says, "I mean, if we're being real, subconsciously we don't want to admit that he probably is uh, RG3 all over again." Uh,
Joe Burrow has been to the Super Bowl, and he's won an MVP or two. I forget how many, but
no, he hasn't won MVP. I think he
I
should
thought he
have
has
won
won
MVP in
MVP.
2024.
Well, he's been in that conversation then.
He's been in that conversation.
So, but either way, it's like call it what you want. He's been around and he's proved himself. Jaden Daniels just hasn't yet. He's a little bit younger. So, but
Yeah,
I
he's
still
only going
think
to his third
people.
season, and it's a Malik. I think it's a Malik conversation with Jaden Daniels, where the first season was so good, like you could put this guy in at least the second tier for his position, and then his second year was robbed by injuries, and now we'll see what the third year can be. Now, I'm not saying their injuries are the same or their progress and rehab is the same, but I'm just saying like it's a similar case, and it's still something. The book is still out on both of these guys.
I also think too that we do have the same conversation with Joe Burrow. Like it's a given that he's going to miss 4 games a year, and it's always the conversation like, are the Bengals going to be able to sustain to win a couple of games in order to give the Bengals a fighting chance? Now, in the last couple of years, the Bengals haven't had the defense to even keep them in games while they don't have the same offensive production that they have when Joe Burrow's on the field. But if you were to put it in a vacuum, Joe Burrow on the Commanders, I'd still be having the same conversation. I think it's an older team with an injury-prone quarterback. I'm not a fan. I'm not
Well, I love Joe Burrow, but
So do I.
he's evil Knievel, and he puts himself in those situations. Like, you could say he's reckless, but he's a great quarterback. So I think you can say the same thing for Jaden if he continues to put himself in situations where I really don't think he does. I think he looks to throw first, run second, as opposed to what RG3 was. But I think if you see, I don't think there's anything wrong if a guy does put himself in reckless situations, but he plays with a really high level of production like Joe Burrow does.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I just don't want to see my quarterback get hurt.
No, of course not. Of course not. Guys, thanks for the likes and follows. We really appreciate it. If you haven't followed yet and you're enjoying us, or you're new here and you see that we're wrapping up here, and you want to get more of us next time we come on, which is in the off season. Again, sometimes it's slow, but we are going to try to do at least once a week. Q Dog, thank you. Really appreciate the gifts. Appreciate the likes. Give us a follow so you can catch us next time.
That's right. Yeah. I think you pretty much said it all. So.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. This was fun. Till next time.